So as I mentioned before, um, this is the final workshop of our virtual series on Rise Above Building Floodwise Communities, Preparing for the Storm, focusing on flood resilience. September is National Preparedness Month, which is why we are going to be focusing on how to get prepared, how to prepare your families, and what some of the things that you should just know this month and for any other things moving forward. I'm Jamani Overby, and I serve as the DC Conservation Advocate with Nature Forward. We also have Mrs. Chestnut here to do her introduction. Yeah.
Hello, this is Andrew Chestnut with Resilience Hub Community Coalition.
Yeah. And this is a wonderful partnership that we've been able to have for this grant workshop and this grant series. This with Department of Energy and Environment, Washington Interfaith Network, Nature Forward, the Green Team, and the Ward 7 Resilience Hub Community Coalition. So we are so pleased to be able to offer these workshops to you all and continue and are excited to stay connected to you so you can stay up to date with other events and opportunities that we'll have going forward. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of welcome and introductions. As usual, please tell us a little bit about yourself, where you live, yes, where you live, what do you want to get out of this session.
I want to.
Make sure everybody is muted again, and I'm gonna also send the sign in the chat. Okay, so you can add in the chat, where do you live and what do you want to get out of this session. And tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your name, what neighborhood you live in, what ward you live in, what you're excited to learn about. Maybe this is your second or third time joining us. Just share a little bit of information in the chat with us. Okay, a little bit of our introduction. So today we're going to go, and I'm just sorry, I'm also getting some more people in the meeting if I pause. We're getting into the ground rules and then how to protect your family from flooding. So a little bit of the information that we shared last session, we're going to go over just briefly so that we have a good refresher, and then a hands-on build a kit exercise. And Mrs. Chestnut is going to share all of her tips and tricks on how to build the best kit. And the hands-on exercise will be, you all will be collecting some items in your home and showing us what items you think you need in your kit. Okay. So just some ground rules or shared agreements. We want everybody to participate, not making sure that not one or two people will dominate the conversation. Of course, having yourself muted when needed. You can come off camera now if you'd like, but also being on camera when we have our activity. And then when you speak, just be sure to state your name and where you live. So we just know each other and we get to share this, even in a virtual space, we get to be able to connect later. Okay, so a little into how to protect your family from. A big part of that is going to be getting in the know. So for flood watches and warnings, the National Weather Service monitors our weather every day and informs the public about dangerous weather. And some important terms include flood watch, flood warning, and a flash flood. So for a flood watch, you want to be prepared. A flood could happen, it might not happen, but you just want to be prepared for that. A flood warning is a flood is happening or it will happen. And then a flash flood is that this is a very fast moving flood and it's very dangerous. So in all of these situations, you want to be prepared with what we're going to share today in your kits, but you just also want to be aware of what these different things mean, how urgent each of them are, and what steps you can take. And you also don't want to be the last to know about these different types of flood watch, flood warning, the flash flood. So you can find out this information on radio, websites, or television stations. You can have your own app that you have on your phone. Alert DC is something that we really, really suggest for everybody to get, which I'll get a little bit more into. And then you can also find out this information on a NOAA weather radio. Okay, so Alert DC is DC's official communication system where you can receive emergency alerts, notifications, and updates directly from DC's Public Safety Office. So you get to stay informed in real time. They have a timestamp on when the information has come out to everybody. And it it goes from weather to different crime events, or just general information that you would want to know as you are a resident of DC. So aside from flooding, it's just good to be in the know of what's going on in your community and your neighborhood. Do you want to add anything about Alert DC?
No, we've got to take care of that.
Okay, good. And I'll let you get into the NOAA weather radio.
Me?
Yeah, sure. You can show it too.
Okay, everybody, I'm Xander Chestnut, and I'm really happy to be here working with Jamani. And we're talking about the weather radio, and this is an example of one of those radios that came in a kit from the Department of Energy and Environment, and it is a weather band radio, and it has a lot of little special things to it, including it being solar. And on here, when you get your weather.
Tonight.
I hope you can hear that. So that's what it's going to sound like when you turn on the weather channel.
Northeast winds 5 to 10 knots with gusts.
Okay.
Yeah, you can hear us talking about the wind.
Yes. That's an important piece of your kit. It's
For
the weather
sure.
radio in addition to your regular radio.
Absolutely. So when you don't have that information accessible to your phone, from your phone, the weather radio is great. It's solar powered, the one that she shared. You only need some sunlight to power it up, and it provides the weather service for warnings, watches, and forecasts, and it's available 24/7. This is a special radio that it requires, but it is very inexpensive. So we're going to get a little bit more into making a, and I'm going to pass it over to Mrs. Chestnut just shortly. So on how you make your emergency plan for your family. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay. So emergency preparedness is something that we need to be doing, and when it's up to us to do it, this is when we do it for floods, hurricanes, earthquakes, or just general emergencies. So the kits that we put together are for area-wide emergencies, and they're here to help us make an emergency plan, keeping us informed, and we want to make our communications plan in advance of the emergency. And in order to do that, we want to figure out where we'll meet. In my situation, I was a working mom and my husband was working, so we decided that if something happened, we would want to have an emergency plan where we would know we would meet in the same place. And then we went to practice that evacuation route. And in addition to setting your evacuation route, if you have to leave your home, then you want to build a kit. Now, if you're staying in your home, that's a different type of kit. But if you want to evacuate your home, then you would be thinking about building a kit for your car. And we have an example of this kit. We picked up a little bag from the Department of Homeland Security at a giveaway, and I would suggest you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money. You can build these kits at home, and you can build them with those things that you get from conferences or conventions or places that are handing out goods. If you have this picture with the blue small kit in the front, that's what we've done with an emergency kit for your car. And inside the kit, there's certain items that you're going to need in your car. And one of them is something simple as a cone. This is when you run out and you have to stop your car and you want not to be a hazard. We have our traffic cones, we have flashlights. Of course, we have a kit that has soaps and a hand sanitizer, tissue. We have an emergency blanket, which is very important. A couple of years ago, there was a snowstorm on 95 where people were trapped for at least 24 hours, and some folks died because they froze to death. Something as simple as this aluminum bag, aluminum blanket could have saved someone's life.
Yeah.
In addition to that, it's also good to have water. Water, 1 gallon per person. We've got 2 bags because we have usually 2 people in the car, but 1 gallon per person per day. So if you're in your car, you want to have that type of water, or we also have the little bottles of water. It's very easy to carry, and you can keep those in a small package. This is very important, guys. For your medication, you want to have your medications, and you want to make sure that they're up to date and not expired. So in here, we have some food rations also. This is still part of the auto kit. And you can add and customize, but mainly you've got your food, your water, your blanket, your flashlight, your batteries, and your cone to protect your car if you have to get outside of it. So these are customizable. You know, you got more than 1 car, you might have more than 1 kit, or you might have a kit that you pop from car to car. So it's really up to you to decide on what you're going to put in your auto kit. And you see it's pretty lightweight and easy to go. And it's not going to take up a lot of space in your car. Okay.
That's perfect. I have an auto kit myself, and I've never had to use it just yet, but I know it will come in handy
That's the beauty.
when I do need it.
Mhm.
I think what you shared is really important is to keep your kit up to date. So when you have medications or different things, or even I guess the water, does the water expire?
No, the water is in those sealed bags.
Okay,
So it's kind of aluminum foil, you know, that special
that
bag.
special bag, okay.
Yeah.
But the maybe like your medications and things like that. So you might want to make a standing date in your calendar when you want to make sure that you go back and you check and see if your kit is up to date, or make sure your batteries still work, or make sure that you update what you might need. Your needs might change over time. Your family's needs might change over time. When you're creating your kit. We're gonna get into some more kits. Mrs. Chestnut I think she has about 7 kits in here. So she's super prepared. And she's gonna share a little bit more.
So we also, making your own kit, you have options of using some of the agency supplies, and with the Department of Energy and the Environment, they have a program called River Smart Homes. And if you sign up for the program, eventually you'll get a bag that has all these goodies in it related to your River Smart home related to flooding. And this bag in itself is a waterproof bag that you put your goods in and roll it down, and then you don't have to worry about the water getting in it. And you could have your personal papers and things that you don't want to get wet inside this type of bag. Also, River Smart is also promoting what you call this plastic wrap. Now, this will be sealing up doors or windows.
Okay.
And in the bag, you also have the tape to do that. And of course, we also have something called the River Smart puts out. It's for flooding in your basement. So if you put that on the floor in your basement and water hits it, it's going to make a sound. So it really tells you when there's a leak or water in your basement. We can never have enough plastic bags for many different reasons. We also have a first aid kit, and most of our kits come with a very generous first aid kit. And you can see this one was sponsored by AAA. So Red Cross works with the other agencies, AAA, AARP, all these organizations have goods that you can help build your own. Of course, crucial,
Oh, yes.
the duct tape for many reasons. And we also have something that I added, which is a tire pump. People with bicycles, if you have, you're moving on a bicycle or you need a bicycle. We have tools, of all types, and whites, and a few other things in here, but this is one thing. A can opener,
Mm.
something as simple and basic as a can opener, you have to have those in this bag. So these were provided by the River Smart Home Program, Department of Energy and Environment. This is a district agency. So if you're interested, you can go on their webpage. They also have a sheet that you can check off with lists that you can keep track of the items that you're trying to collect and what you have collected. Okay. I'm gonna put this back, and there's another program that the district also promotes related to flooding. So this was the River Smart program, and then there's a
The Flood
flooding,
Smart.
Flood Smart program.
Yeah, so we've shared information about each of these programs throughout the course of our different series. And I think what's really cool about the River Smart Homes program is like this is a great example of things that are going to be great for inside your home if you're going to be staying in there. So kind of taking up all those areas where you might have some water come in and really being proactive in and preventing a lot of the damage that you might see within your home.
And if you are staying in place in your home, you're gonna wanna know where the valves and places for turning off your gas or your water. And you would need things like crowbar or pliers and other tools for, they all go inside of this bag. Now, these bags you can keep in a closet, in your basement, in a garbage can, or somewhere close that might be waterproof, where you know where it is, you can go get it when you need it. And that's for staying in place. Most of our bags are just staying in place, right?
To make sure y'all are muted. Unless do you have any questions? Anybody have any questions yet? If so, you can come off mute. Miss Patricia, do you have any questions?
Yes, I have a question. I have a
Yes.
question. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, just wondering, I live in Ward 7, and I'm not sure. I believe that there's an underwater spring because everyone in my neighborhood floods. Is there anything that's going to happen regarding that?
Well, maybe you might want to look at your address on our flood map
Yeah.
to see where you are located within the flood map.
Yeah.
There is a flood map,
DCFloodrisk.org.
and you can put your address
What is it,
in.
DC what?
DCFloodrisk.org.
DC flood?
Yes, and I'm going to send it in the chat too, so you have it.
Okay, so is the district, if there are flood areas, is the district doing anything about that?
Yeah, so there are particular flood areas that are more prone to flooding, particularly in Ward 7 and Ward 8. And a lot of these homes are located in the 100 or 500-year floodplains, which just means that they are closer to bodies of water and they are at risk for flood, have a higher risk of flooding. So for these areas, we encourage people to purchase flood insurance, which is separate from homeowner insurance. And also getting involved and kind of touch base with Department of Energy and Environment on these different programs, including Flood Smart Homes and River Smart Homes, to help prevent flooding in your home or, help mitigate some of these factors. And I'll be able to connect you with some folks in DOEE, Karen, if you'd like to, learn a little bit more of that information. And then we'll also have some representatives of DOEE at our closeout event on September 12th. So we encourage you to come out to that and be able to speak with them. They'll be able to show where your home is located on the floodplain map and get you connected to some of those resources as well.
Okay, because I know that they did do an article in the newspaper about my particular area. And so when these homes were built, they knew that they were building on top of water, basically.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
well, what does, for homeowners moving in, what does that mean? Because no one said anything when I moved here. So I'm interested in knowing, are there any resources to mitigate
Mhm.
Yeah,
stuff
I
that
would,
has been known for years?
The
yeah,
Office of the People's Council would also be one of those.
Office of the People's Council.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just share kind of some of these things that we're mentioning in the chat so everybody can have access to them.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions?
These supply lists that you see on the screen, Jemani is providing those at the end of the event for a handout.
Yes.
But they're very useful, and one of them is provided by the AARP has a program called Create the Good, and they do a whole series on emergency preparedness. So I would recommend, if you're a member of AARP, or if you're not, just go online and look for that. It's a wealth of resources there that can help you with emergency preparedness from A to Z.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this one is a basic emergency supply checklist. So kind of what Mrs. Chestnut just ran over. Then you have your vital document checklist. So say you do need to evacuate your home. What are all of the things that you need to have in a central location to be able to grab and go?
Right.
Including, your personal identification for yourself and anybody else in your home, social security and health insurance cards, bank statements, tax returns. I mean, anything that you might need if you think it might be damaged or at
Mhm.
risk of anything. Even if you do have to evacuate your home, making sure if by chance if you do end up leaving it and you're just in a rush, that it's protected, it's waterproof protected, so that you still have those documents accessible to you whenever you're able to return back to your home. So we really try to encourage you to keep anything that's valuable to you on really high ground, because you never know with many of these um, you know flooding instances. This next one is also an evacuation plan checklist. So this is your grab and go checklist. This might be something that you just have and you can quickly run through in the event of emergency. Maybe like a minute to 3 minutes. You can make sure that you have your document list that you already put together. You have your emergency supply kit that you already put together. You have your keys and your
Cash.
Your cash. Yep, the cash. This is really important because we're all in this digital age and nobody carries cash anymore. But say the power goes out and you're not able to get to point A to point B, or you just don't have access to certain things in an event of emergency that you never really think that you won't have access to. So just having all of those things that you don't think about on a daily basis, but things that you will need in an event of emergency. Yep, and you already shared the car kit supplies. And some of those things that you might already have in your car, including the jumper cables or emergency flares, or like some of the tools that you might keep in your kit. Make sure you don't, discard those. Sometimes we take them out just because we want to have space in our cars and things like that. But there's real value in having these different items. Something that I never think about is a map.
Yes, a map and a compass.
Okay.
So that's another thing we kind of forget about, a compass. But that's important because if our GPS goes out or phone goes out, unless you know the difference between east and west, you need a compass, right? So that is a big one, the compass. Forget about that one.
Oh Lord.
It's okay.
And the other thing is a paper and a pen. A lot of times you don't have that, so you might have to write a help sign or
Yeah,
something. You
that's
need
true.
something to be able to do that. And never underestimate the power of a plastic trash bag, because they can form so many different purposes, including becoming a poncho if you don't have a raincoat, or that kind of thing. So, and then of course for trash,
Of course.
keep things dry.
Absolutely. I I think something else I'm thinking about over is the type of people that you have in your family. Thinking about the different needs that they might have. If you have children, maybe you have children, maybe you have seniors, maybe you have pets. Like, what are the different things that they might need that you should include in your kit? A little bit of dog food, making sure there's enough. You have that gallon of water per person. You have water for whatever animal or pet that you might have. So being really like intentional and strategic with the things that you have in your kits, it forces you to really think about everything and everybody. And this is something that you can do together with your family as well. So you might, have a family dinner and say, like, in a case of emergency, what is like a non-negotiable item that everybody needs to have? Or what are some things that you think would be helpful for you to have? And your kids can help you with this too. Okay.
So we've talked about the car kit, and we've talked about the smaller kit that I showed you for the Flood Smart. But now we want to talk about a staying in place kit, which is 1 gallon of water per person per day for at least 3 days. And this particular kit is one of 2 that we have that's prepared for 72 hours. So inside the kit, of course, is the basics. It's going to have you notice how big that first aid kit is. But then we have other things that are in this kit that you might, like a body warmer, water bags. We have water bags that you can store water in for emergency purposes.
Those emergency blankets.
Ponchos. We have diapers and sanitary things for women. We have a portable cup, the old-fashioned cup that you can drop down, a plastic cup. Lots of tissue, and then we have the food. Now, God willing, I don't want to have to use this because I've been holding on to this food for years. And I do inspect our kits. We have an inspection of the kits once a year because we want to make sure the batteries are still good, any medications that we have. But this kind of stuff is this bottled water. And these rations, just pray that we don't have to use these rations. And if we do, we'll make a report on it and let you know how good they are. But you notice the stuff that's in there, and it's all caloric related.
Yeah.
Make sure you get those calories.
Yeah. It might not be the tastiest, but it'll help you.
Get you over.
It'll get you
It'll
over.
keep you going. Here we go. Batteries. Gotta have those for all your devices. We have the different ones that we're using. More emergency blankets because we've got 3 people that we're trying to use. Games for our kids or us when we don't have anything else to do. We've got a couple card games here. We've got some coloring books. We have whistle. Whistle is very important, especially if you're inside and you're trying to reach somebody that is outside and you can't talk. You can blow the whistles. And also in here is a tarp and a weather guard. This is something that we have. It's all rolled up, but it's basically a tarp for making a temporary shelter if you had to, or a lean-to. And then you see we have a little coloring book for the babies and some crayons in here. And the main thing is the food and the drink. So everything is loaded down, food, water, drink, and matches. We've got matches.
And those are waterproof matches.
Yes, these are waterproof matches. With waterproof means the wooden stick, right? Not the paper.
Yeah.
So this was in this 72-hour. This came, we customized this. We bought this online years ago from Costco. Okay, along with some other stuff that Costco sells for emergencies. But you see what is this for 3 people, 72 hours, food, drink, and shelter. Okay.
That's great.
And the dust mask is in here. The collectible personal emergency information, we carry that inside the zip bags. We have pencils, we have crayons.
Oh,
There's
there's a,
that can
it's
opener.
a can opener.
And these are little light sticks. Oh, ones
In
you
case it's
hit
dark,
and,
yeah.
and then, and they open up. But where's my main flashlight? Here we go. These are the LED. Oh, they're so
Oh, that's
bright.
nice.
You open it up and they light up. You see,
Mhm.
so you can hang these if you're running out of light. Sorry.
No, you're
It's kinda
fine.
bright. It's kinda bright. But these are very affordable. So you always have to have your light. Moist towelettes, garbage bags, plastic ties, can opener, local maps. Oh, I did it.
That's okay.
Sorry. Local maps and your cell phone with chargers,
Mhm.
very important, and also your other chargers for your other devices.
For sure.
Anybody, any questions?
We had a question, how do they get one of the kits?
Now, which kit are we talking? Because some of them we customize
Yeah.
ourselves. The Ready kit came from the federal government.
Mhm.
They have ready.gov.
Ready.gov.
Then we have the Department of Energy, we have the Red Cross, who also provides kits. And AARP has resources for building kits. So it just depends. And if you come across a resource that we don't know about, please share it, because we should not have to go out and buy a lot of stuff when we can build our own. You know, we can put things together. And that's basically what it's about. It's not trying to create a lot of debt, just create our survival.
Absolutely. And yeah, you guys asked, you know, where do you get one of those kits? We're gonna help you to build a kit with what you have in your home today as well. So some of these things, as we mentioned, like you might be able to collect over time. Sometimes we go to these different tabling events, and they have little cool gadgets like small can
Yes,
openers,
yes.
or
Like
they have
this,
or like they
Save the
have
River.
these Save the River, like reusable cups.
We got these from
The
convention.
emergency blankets.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of these things at different community events that
Mhm.
people have, and you can just start tossing those in a bag.
Mhm.
And something that Mrs. Chestnut has recommended in the past is, you know, if you have different abilities, and maybe, you know, some of these kits they get really heavy with the several gallons of water and the food rations. If you have an old suitcase perhaps, or anything like that, with wheels, then it'll make it easier for you to roll it. We recommend you doing that, and building building a kit gradually. That way it will be really inexpensive. Maybe you go on a trip, and you know the little hotels have the little shampoo, lotions, the toothbrush, toothpaste, and you're able to take some of those home with you. That's a little bit of a hygiene kit for you to add to your larger kit, in an easy and inexpensive way. Okay. And something that we wanted to point out is also the importance of collecting your personal emergency information for everybody in your family, and making sure that they know this information as well. So having this in like a waterproof safe, maybe like Miss Chestnut showed in the front of her backpack, she keeps them sealed up in some Ziploc bags there. Make sure it knows your name, your address, the city, the state, phone number, emergency contacts, your blood type. If you're in an event of emergency, this information is important to know in a fast, as soon as possible. You know, your different medical conditions, allergies, some of the things you might require. Really, when you think about your medical conditions and everything, because you know sometimes in the evacuation, everything is moving a lot very fast. If somebody is to get injured, you know, people don't know this information as soon as possible. So that's another thing that you should make sure that you have, and then also your health insurance.
And we want to put that information on a CD, I mean, not a CD, a thumb drive,
Mhm.
the new, not the CD, those are old.
Mhm.
Something that you can have in your pocket, along with your important documents. If you can scan them onto a portable
Flash
drive,
drive.
and then store it with someone who you trust, or somewhere where you know that you'll be able to pick it up, or in a waterproof place where you would have the rest of your emergency pack.
Yeah.
That's important, right? Because you got all these papers and, you know, you're trying to go through them. If you've got all that in one spot,
Mhm.
it gives you a little bit more security.
It
It's-
does.
it's
And if
trying to
you,
keep your-
the papers happen to be damaged, you do have that another,
Mhm.
always have a, like a backup to the backup.
to the backup, right.
And I think it was, I was sharing with Mrs. Chestnut, I think we think about flooding in this sense, but you know, some people are, you know, we see the sci-fi movies where it's like the end of the world, or, you know, if whatever that is that drives you to get your stuff together for this, if you, maybe you're not impacted by flooding as much, but it might be some other emergency events that might happen. You shared that you started kind of doing these after 9/11.
Yes.
So it
Yeah.
can be anything for you to get your family and your organized and coordinated on the evacuation routes and
Mhm.
what you need to do and the resources that you need to have. And just being on the same page about, you know, how we're going to, if we're all at different locations, how are we going to connect and make sure we find each other again?
Mhm.
We have any questions before we get into our activity? See any hands raised? And then some other things that you want to consider when you're building your kit is for how many days. We shared that the last one is for 72 days. So if you're thinking, oh, 72, yes, 72
hours.
How many days? So how many hours? So 72 hours, which was 3 days. So you would have to have for 2 people, you got to do some math here. So for 2 people, for 3 days, you would have to have how much water?
A lot.
A lot, right?
So
So
a gallon per
a
person.
gallon per
day.
person per day.
Yeah.
So thinking about all of those, so 6 gallons of water you would need to have for 72 hours for 2 people. What special items do you and your family need? Thinking about your children. So say you do have children, or you identify as a woman, some of these different things that you might need, like sanitary napkins, or, you know, diapers, wipes, things that aren't going to be as accessible.
Right, and seniors have those special requirements
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
Right.
And yeah, even when you're thinking about evacuation routes and how accessible is it going to be for different people with different abilities as well. And then do you have a plan for various locations, like we share the car, the office, the home? What's going to be your meeting point? And so our last part of our workshop today will be an opportunity for you all to come on screen and share with us a little bit about your kits. We're going to give you 10 minutes to collect at least 10 items to add to your kit within your home. So it can be any of these things that we shared today. I'm going to put a timer on it. It could be a first aid, you have a first aid kit, your can opener, your bottle opener, some rope,
Your eyeglass repair
your
kit.
eyeglass repair kit, any of these small items that you might have in your house. We want to challenge you right now to a scavenger hunt. And yeah, let's see what you all pick up. So I'm going to start the timer for 10 minutes. And once it's over, I look forward to seeing you all on camera to share with us what you got and what items you picked up and why you added them to your kit. So are you all ready? Ready? I'll take that as a yes. Okay. And then how do I start it?
Uh-oh. Set,
Set,
go.
start. Let's
There
go.
we go.
I see some people are in their car, so maybe you have something in
In
your
your
car
car.
already
I heard
that you can add to your
Yes,
kit and you can show
yes.
us. Maybe you're joining with several people in your family. Get everybody involved in collecting some of these items. If you have some children, ask them to pick up their coloring books, some of their fidget toys, any items that you can add to your kit.
Oh, we forgot something. Somebody's gonna come up with really.
Yeah, I
something.
hope
Oh my God,
they
we
put
forgot
something
that.
that we didn't have up here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm finding things every day. Really. This is one of those tools that that Department of Energy for.
Oh, the utility rig.
Right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. it's
They probably
plastic.
don't see it because they're
No,
go
'cause they're
get
running around,
stuff.
right. But we'll share that. Utility rig. And we talked about the radio, right? The piece of radio.
Oh, is it in this one?
Yeah, the little, this one here, this transistor. It's not, this is not a weather. It's handy because you can hook it on the stuff.
Oh, that's
like,
nice.
Hangs.
I've
Yeah.
seen some of those like speakers like that are in the
Mhm.
shower or something.
Yeah. But it, this came
Is that
with,
battery?
yep,
Oh, you need a screwdriver. That's something I didn't think about.
yes, that's part of the two bit.
Is there a screwdriver?
Should be. Let's see. It smokes, those smoke.
Maybe not because they're for the eyeglasses. Yeah. 8 minutes.
I think this.
That's something else you gotta think about.
Screwdriver.
How to open some of these
Yeah.
things too, yeah.
Mhm.
But sometimes you get those kits from like if you build something at your house and they have the small screwdrivers that come with the kits,
Yeah.
you can add that
Yeah.
to that too.
So,
Oh, the can
this is a
opener. It's not a real can opener.
It's a bottle.
The bottle one.
top. It's going to sit in.
I wonder if-
No,
Oh, maybe you
come
can
on,
give
useful.
it.
The way it's designed here, it's not, this says it's for eyeglass, yes, it's
Mhm.
eyeglass. And
What would they have a ruler there for?
these are, so that's the chest man. I hope I never have to use any of this drinking water.
I really wonder. You feel like you should see what it tastes like. It's like Fear Factor.
Do you wanna try?
Oh, absolutely
You
not.
wanna do look at this,
I'm like, what? It can't be
full
good.
of vitamins and minerals, ready to eat. What does it say?
It's like astronaut food.
5-year shelf life. That's better than McDonald's. I'm sorry. She'll say that. Shelf life, girl. That is scary.
Exceeds U.S. Coast Guard and Solar Standard. 400 calorie mainstay.
400 calories is a lot of calories for one bar. Yeah. Let's hope
When
we never.
you need it, you need it.
Oh, I just pray that we never have to. Got a picture of the park. Look at that.
All right, we have 4 minutes on the board. Hope you guys are getting some good stuff.
So we got flour. Vegetable shortening. Sugar. Oops, a lot of stuff. This also opens up your world to how many of these companies are out there doing it. A lot of companies doing this. That company, right, the American Preparedness,
Mhm.
that's a veteran-owned company,
Okay,
so they.
so maybe they can provide some of these to veterans
Mhm.
and stuff at no cost.
Not even here. This has gotta have something. in it.
Oh, I think that one is.
That's how we break some nails. Scissors. You know. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Saw, it's a saw. Saw. Saw with a ruler. So where is the Phillips? Oh, it comes right there.
While you guys are back yet, we're trying to figure out if we have enough tools from our kit to open up this battery pack of another radio. So that's another thing that we'll need
Phillips.
to think about is what type of screwdrivers you need to access your batteries.
Smaller Phillips.
Is anybody ready to share some of the items they picked up yet? Christy, are you ready to share any of the items you have? You all can just unmute yourself. Aaron, you ready? Okay.
Good.
We'll give everybody else their last minute, but
Ready.
you all can get started sharing.
I'm ready.
Okay, you can go ahead. Ms. Everett.
I have, so am I saying what I have, what I got gathered together? You can't get it out.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you're able to, we'd love to see you on screen as well.
Okay, hold
But if
on.
not, we understand. There you go.
There you go. Let's see.
Let's see, what do you have?
I'm trying to do the camera thing, turn it around, but, oh, there you go. Hold on. I have toilet paper,
Oh, good.
Okay.
wipes, gallon of
Uh-huh.
water, trash bag, paper towels, bike pump, the first aid kit, Ziploc bag, can opener, bottle opener, coloring book with crayons, wipes. I have a waterproof phone case
Oh,
and
that's a good
The
one.
waterproof phone, excellent.
and
The
the
blanket.
aluminum cape or whatever it
Girl.
is.
Girl, if you
Yeah.
had 10 more minutes, man, you would have had.
Oh, and the eyeglass thing too. I forgot that.
Oh,
The
you
pair
have
of
that too, the eyeglass magnifier.
Nice, nice, yes.
Wow, that's nice.
And
So-
that reminds me, if you wear glasses, you want to include a spare pair in
Mhm.
your getaway bag,
Mhm.
just in case.
Right.
Oh
So
yeah, I
maybe,
forgot the glasses too.
yeah, I think you said before sometimes you renew your prescription, so it might not be
Yeah.
your latest prescription,
Yeah.
but those old glasses would
With
be
the
better than
case,
nothing.
with the case, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's great.
That
That's
was
great. That's
excellent.
good.
Wow.
Anybody else want to
Thank
share?
you.
I'll
That
share.
The waterproof
Yeah, the
phone,
waterproof phone
phone
thing.
thing.
That was
those are
something we didn't
special.
have.
Yes,
So
we adding those extra.
we're adding that to our list. Miss Randall, are you ready to share?
I think so. So this is what I grabbed really quick. Don't judge me. All right, how do I flip this? I don't know how to
I'm-
flip this camera around.
You flipping?
The flip the camera. I'm not sure how to do
Oh, I
it.
think I got it. Here we
There
go.
you go. We can see
So
it.
I'm gonna show you guys what I found at the Dollar Tree literally this weekend. So since I met Jamani, I have this existing to-do list in my mind that won't go away with being prepared for floods and stuff. So,
Yes.
so I have, of course, to keep my lips moist. I found
Good.
this came from the Dollar Tree, the electric toothbrush. The shower kit actually has the little sponge in it, also the travel size thing. Of course, this also the soap, antibacterial soap. So I have this handheld light and I have the batteries in the bag since you reminded me
Okay.
not to have the batteries in the device.
Yes.
Yep.
A regular flashlight also. I actually was just organizing screws and stuff yesterday, and so I just grabbed these two. They was on the top of the tube bag. Can opener,
Those clips are important.
sanitary napkin.
Those clips.
Why not open wine?
There you go.
And I found this battery storage container. I started organizing also, so I'll have all of them for each device actually in one space.
Okay.
That's
That's
perfect.
an excellent idea.
And what did you say was important? Those snatches? What did you say? Those clips?
The regular office clips, you know,
Oh, the office
they
clips.
have so many functions.
Okay.
The
Oh yeah,
paper
I did have gloves. Yeah, I have a couple of those, the jumbo paper clips that I think she's referencing.
Yeah.
I have a few of those also. And then like the little mini screwdriver set, I travel with this in the car.
That's perfect. Wow. Well, great job, both of
Wow.
you. Those are Mrs. Chestnut is actually adding some things to her kit.
kit.
That's great. Does anybody else have would anybody else like to share some items?
I can.
Okay, yeah. Hi, Erin.
Hey. Let's see. So I have a first aid kit.
Nice.
Have off because bugs. Aspirin, sunscreen, Neosporin, toothbrush, toothpaste, paper towels. I actually have a waterproof bag.
Oh, nice.
And I think just outside of water, I think that's it.
That's good. That's good. That's a good starter kit. I think that's great. Thanks for sharing.
And how many people do you have in your household that you're preparing for?
2 people and a dog. So the dog is the most important.
Yeah.
And that's what I had a problem with, is trying to figure out, because I don't have pets, but I know that they're important like people. And so when you carry their food, is it fresh food or is it what is it?
It's typically fresh food, and that's something to think about too, because they're perishable. So it's like if we have to run out and go, then it will be very different.
Absolutely.
Very.
Sometimes they do like those little giveaway of the foods for dogs, or like they have little samples. So sometimes you might be able to keep those and add those to your quick kit. It might not last the full day, but
Right.
they'll have something for them. So great. Well, thank you all ladies for sharing those items. I appreciate
Wow,
that.
that was just 10 minutes.
That was just 10 minutes. So when you have some
So if
time,
you really had to get on an emergency, you'd be throwing stuff together. It'd be- Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm going to share my screen again as we prepare to close out today's workshop, but we appreciate you all for participating. Those of you that didn't even share, I know that you all were working hard on your different kits. So make sure that you're just gradually building those kits over time for yourself and your family. And so I wanted to share some additional information before we close out about the program and all. This Rise Above Building Floodwise Communities program has been super helpful, not only to us as organizations learning about how we can help community members and focusing on community engagement, but we've had such great feedback from different residents and community leaders on this work. So we want to continue to have this be a sustainable program through this Community Conservation Ambassadors Program. And this is a little bit of information about the program. So some requirements include attending the virtual workshops. If you've already attended them, you've already checked off one of your requirements. If somebody is interested and they haven't, we will share the recordings with them. We will have an Advocacy 101 training. We will also complete 10 to 20 home visits or door knocking independently in Ward 7 and or Ward 8. And as a cohort, you will plan a flooding workshop for residents and or youth in your community. And then another additional requirement is to recruit and start a neighborhood green clean team. And you will be provided startup costs and supplies, including like those safety vests, the grabbers, trash bags, gloves, first aid kit, hand sanitizer, all of those things to start your clean team. And that's really for us to keep those storm drains clear and just our streets clean, because it looks beautiful when they're clean, and we want to make sure that everybody is playing an active role in their community. The ambassadors will receive a $150 stipend, $100 in workshop support, and then the green team startup costs, which are shared with the grabbers and everything like that. So if you're interested in that, please shoot me an email. You have all of my information. If you don't have my information, I'll send it in the chat, but I think everybody has my information. And then last but not least, my information is I think at the bottom of here. Yeah, okay. You can RSVP for our closeout event, which will be Thursday, September 12th at 6:30 p.m. at the Marshall Heights Community Development on Benning Road. And we're gonna have raffle tickets for some of these items that you were seeing today, including the weather radios and the water sensors. So come out and get some of these items to add to your kit. We'll be able to hear from you what the community wants as it relates to programming and more information. You can learn more information about the Community Conservation Ambassador Program and make sure that you come and pick up your stipend. We will also have representatives from Department of Energy and Environment and Department of Insurance, Securities and Banking there to answer any questions that you have about the district funded programs, Flood Smart Homes and River Smart Homes, as well as general flood insurance questions. So please RSVP using this QR code. And I will also just make sure to I'll send the RSVP link in the chat as well. Does anybody have any final comments, questions, anything? You can put in the chat or you can, holler out. But thank you again for joining us. Anybody have any final remarks? Mrs. Chestnut, anything?
No, I just want to thank everybody for coming out, being a part of this, and I look forward to more of this because I really like how we can be so close to you guys, but yet not have to be in person. So yeah, thank you. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And if you're not able to pick up your stipend, please message me, but we encourage everybody to come pick it up in person. It's just a lot easier for us to help coordinate, and we get to share space with each other in person at least once. So thank you again. Thank you for your time, and get your flood kits ready for National Preparedness Month. Have a great Tuesday, everybody. Bye.
Bye.